Hello guys, and welcome to tutorial number 17. So in this tutorial I'm actually going to be talking to you guys about background. Okay, so the background colors and background images. So we've actually already taken a look at background color from a previous tutorial, but I didn't actually talk to you guys much about this, so I just gave you guys an overall view of how we actually do that. So what I want to do now is clear out this code because it's same code as the previous tutorial. So I just want to take this one out. Okay, take it out. We're going to see there, and here you can see we still have the same code as previous tutorials. So you just go back and refresh this, and we got this. So we'll just close this for now. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to actually alter the background of this page. So one thing we can do now is, let's say you can change the color, so you can just say background color. Okay, just background, and you want to set a value, and the value will be the color. So let's say you want to give this a color of I don't know, let's use actually my color of black. So that's my color of black. Go ahead, save that and refresh, and you can see we've actually given this the background color, given this paragraph a background color of black, right? Okay, so this is actually how you make use of the background color. So you notice here that the background color didn't affect the whole page, right? It only affected this background of this paragraph element, and that is because we actually put it in the paragraph. So if we wanted to actually change the background of the whole page, what we do is let's just cut this out. Okay, so let's just go down here and say body. So we're going to target the body. We're going to select the body, and in the body we're going to give it the margin, the background of black. Well, this actually does my value here. So go back here and refresh, and now you can see that we've got a black background, right? So the background is now black color. So let me just change that to something different, and we'll see let's use this blue. Okay, refresh, and we've got a blue background here, right? Okay, so that's actually how, let's recap of how we make use of the background color. And something else we can actually do is make use of the property, a different property. So let's actually go ahead and take this out now. We can actually use a different property called the background image. Okay, so this background image it has as you can see here, background has so much properties, right? So you can see we've got the background, we've got background position, we've got background image, we've got background repeat, size, attach, clip, and quite a few functions, right? So we're gonna actually take a look at most of these functions now. So the first thing I want to actually do here, or take a look at here, is the background image, right? So if you go back to go to my root directory here, you can actually see I went beforehand and added in an image, right? So this is just image of Bitcoin, you know. So let's just rename this as Bitcoin, so we can actually type it in. Okay, so this is an image of Bitcoin, and you can see it's in the format of JPEG, right? Okay, so we want to actually use this image as the background image on our page, on our web page here, right? So to do that, we just have to give this a value of URL. So URL, then we're gonna add into parentheses, right? So to curly braces like that here. Then next, you're gonna end this off. Always make sure you do not forget to end that out, right? So next, you're gonna right inside these two brackets, you want to give it a colon. That's a colon. Okay, so you want to give it a single quotation mark, right? Not a colon, a single quotation mark. So just give it a single quotation mark, and in this single quotation mark you want to give it a value, and this value is the URL for the image, right? So it's like the location of the image in right here in our file, right? So to actually target this image, all you have to do is just type in the name, because our CSS file is in the same directory as our image file, right? So all you need is just the name and the type. So what you're going to do now is just go ahead and say Bitcoin and .jpg. Okay, go ahead and save this now, and if we should go back to your browser and hit refresh, okay, this didn't actually work, so I think I did something here. Okay, so spell this right. Okay, go ahead and save this now and refresh. Okay, so now you can see we've got something here which is actually the image, but we can actually see the image clearly, and this is because what we're seeing here is actually just a section of the image. So what we're seeing is just like this part of the image. We're not actually seeing the whole image here, and this is because the image is so very large. The format of that image is very large, right? So let me just show you guys the size of that image here, and if you want to look at the dimension, I've already showed you guys how to do that. So let me just say the details here, and you can see the dimension of this image is 800 by 4500. So this is a rather very large image, right? So to actually make this image appear totally in the viewport, we can actually decide to make use of an extra property which we'll call the background size. And to do that, so just go ahead and say the background size, and you can say we can actually give this some values, like you could say 200 pixels, right? So give this 200 pixels and go ahead and refresh, and you can see we're having 200 pixels of the image. So this is just 200 pixels up and down, 20 pixels, 20 pixels, 20 pixels. So it's just going ahead to repeat. So this size is repeating, right? So for that repeat, what we can actually also do is, if we don't want this background to actually continue repeating itself, we can just go ahead and use another property which we call the background repeat property, and we say no repeat. Okay, go ahead and save this, come back and hit refresh, and you can see the background is no longer repeating itself, right? So you can see it's just one image, or just one image itself here, no repetitions, right? So but let's say we want to actually make okay, before that, there's also something we can actually do, some kind of fun properties here. So this background repeat has other properties, so you can actually say you can say repeat on the x-axis, so you can say repeat x, go ahead and refresh, and you can see that it actually repeats on the x-axis all the way across, right? So repeating from the right to left, so it just went ahead and repeated on the x-axis alone, right? So now if you want this to repeat on the y-axis, you can say repeat y, go ahead and save this and refresh, and it's repeating all the way down the page, right? So this is actually just a cool property you can actually make use of if you were, I don't know, if you want to actually make use of that, something like that. Okay, so let's just go ahead and take this property out, and we won't actually take this one out too. Okay, go back and let's see that. Okay, now we're back to this our normal image. So what we want to do now is actually size this image up so we have the image appearing in our viewport, right? So we want to actually totally see the full image. So what we can do now is still make use of this background size, but we want to actually change the property. So let's give this a value of cover. So what this value of cover does is it kind of like sizes it down so the image is only as big as the viewport, right? Or it's only as big as the width of or the size of the browser. So if I go ahead and refresh this now, you can see we've got our image, right? So the image is now appearing on fully, as in its full width on the browser. The whole image now is showing up on our browser, right? On the viewport of our browser. Okay, so you can see if I go ahead and start resizing this, the image is, you can see the image now is actually resizing, right? Okay, so it's resizing, and it's not actually it's not like what I call it now. So it's not actually taking up the whole page, right? So you can actually also set this to no repeat, give this a background repeat of no repeat. Okay, save that. Let's go back to here now, refresh. Okay, so now you can actually see that's taking up the viewport, so it's just taking up size. And whenever I kind of like enlarge this, you can see it's taking up the size of the browser, right? It's taking up the whole width of our browser, right? Okay, so that is actually how you make use of the background image properties. So there are actually more properties you can actually take a look at, but the video is actually getting a little bit long, so I'm just gonna actually push the other parts to the next video. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Go to the next video and see how we actually make use of more properties when dealing with background images or background in general functions of background. Thanks for staying to the end of this video. That really means a lot to me. So please, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful to you. Subscribe to my channel and watch another one of my videos, and I'll see you next time.